Now, now, it's like I said, like I be, see, this is why you got to protect your kids from social media. You got to protect your daughters, especially, from this type of stuff, right? Because, like I said in my other video, some people will be anything they need to be to get what they want. Men will be Prince Charming if you promise them the yams. Men will be yes man if you promise them that they can go on tour with you and indulge in be in the entourage. And that's why I always kind of understood a different level of men being dogs, right? Now I don't believe that all men are dogs, but one thing about a dog is a dog will be whoever you need it to be in order to get that treat, in order to get in the house, in order to get that meal. You know what I'm saying? A cat, you just gonna have to work around a cat, because a cat is gonna be who a cat gonna be, regardless. Yeah, even when they get hungry, it might purr a little bit of rub up against you, but the cat always gonna remember, all right, if you strike me or anything like that, you treat me bad, I'm gonna get you back. And I don't care if you feed me, I don't care if you giving me a place to stay, anything. And that's why we always see cats getting thrown out, especially by our parents, because it's like the cat's supposed to come in and serve a purpose to get the mice, and that's it. But that's not how cats is. Cats cats are on cats' time. Dogs is on your time. Whatever you tell a dog to do, whatever you train a dog to do, whatever you promise a dog is going to do that for its own self-preservation. And some men are like that. And some men gonna get online and tell women what they want to hear, like a Derek Jackson. And some men gonna get online and tell men what they want to hear, like clearly how this dude is. And in that mission, he's going to degrade women. And people might say Kevin Samuels degraded women, but I think he was just brutally honest. Like, one of his most notable things he said was average at best. There's nothing wrong with being average. Most of us are average. Most of us are average looking, average earners, average everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. An average is a 5. A little bit above average is a 7. Everybody's default number is a 7. Everybody is not a 7. And that's why he always used a statistic that it's only 20% of men that's getting 80% of the women. And sometimes when you have been a part of that 20% of the men, it's easier for you to see the world as it is. Because I see why a lot of these dudes that's online, I could look at them, I could listen to them, and I could tell that without social media, they would be part of that percentage that wasn't getting women. And that's the bottom line. If they didn't have money, if they didn't have notoriety, if they didn't have status, they wouldn't get no women. So part of them being dogs and getting what they want is to get on here, find the audience, tell that audience what they need to hear in order for them to get what they want, which is money, fame, and women. A lot of times these dudes will talk about guys, oh, you and God's purpose and you this and that, but then you running through every chick in your DM. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, social media is dangerous in the sense that you can't trust these people. And us as Muslims, we shouldn't believe any of this stuff, because our Prophet ﷺ already gave us the blueprint to how we move, and we don't move like this. We would never call, and this is for black Muslims, if you look at a black sister, period, as a slave, and just because she has a history, you need to check yourself. You need to check yourself. And this is the poison that our sons are indulging in if they online.
Purpose is to be a nurturer. You never was supposed to have to work the jobs that I had. Your purpose was to pour into, not get taken away from. Your virtue get taken away from every single time that go in your mouth and he the shit out of you. Then your virtue just goes straight out the window and you feeling some type of way because I'm supposed to acknowledge you as a black queen. No, you a black slave. You are used the same way that slaves were used in order to breed. That's it. We're not supposed to admonish you. We're not supposed to pedestalize you. We're not even supposed to praise you. All you are is a dumping ground for something and someone that don't want anything to do with you after they get done with you. Why would I look at you and value you as the same way as the woman that's then preventing herself from being up out here in these streets, and she don't want every Tom, Dick, and Harry to be over here on her?
And this is going to lead to them coming into the community and treating a Muslim woman like this. And we can't have that at all. We can't have that at all. Because we know that the Muslim women are the best women, the ones that are striving to preserve themselves, the one that are following the ways of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his companions and his wives. We know this, but they don't know they don't know that. So when they give advice, they giving advice for the general population. And that toxicity is then brought in to our community. And then we see some of the issues that we see, where you got a brother who supporting his family with street money, knowing that money is just fuel for the fire, feeding their bellies with stones that fuel the fire. We know that, but there's some Muslims out there who are so caught up in the dunya that they think this is how, you know what I'm saying? They just looking to add another tool to their tool belt. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if this is going to work for me to get what I want, they still got that dog in them. And Islam is supposed to take that dog out of you. Islam is supposed to make you a noble human being, a noble contributor to society. It's supposed to cleanse you. Every time you make wudu, it's supposed to cleanse you. Every time you pray, it's supposed to cleanse you. But a lot of times we're not praying. If you're not praying, you're not making wudu. If you're not making wudu, then you're not cleansing yourself. So that's a part of the spiritual issue, but then also a part of the indoctrination is being indoctrinated with hegemony, hedonism, basically. And we controlled by our desires. And the Prophet ﷺ told us about a man. He said the man that won't be forgiven is the man who's a zania at an old age. At a certain point in time, when you were old enough to know better, and you still out here running, chasing behind women and all of that, then it ain't no saving you. And then you throw this type of toxicity into the mix, and it creates a cesspool. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these dudes, it's weirdos when the camera go off. And that's something that I really never will understand, how you could take a straight introvert, like somebody that didn't get no notoriety and no popularity outside of social media, outside of the internet, but then could come online. And I seen it in college where it was dudes where, you know what I'm saying, where it was dudes where, oh, I'm from this hood and I'm from that hood. I'm like, oh, damn, that's what's up, my man. Such and such. And they're like, because they up there lying, creating this image, and really is the dude that, oh yeah, I know, boy. Everybody go over there to play the game. He ain't allowed to come outside. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? And it's innate in a man to want to make something of himself. And a lot of times it's just they don't want to put the work in to do it the right way, which is working on yourself, reading books, working out, working hard, like all of these different things that men don't have an option to not indulge in. If you wanna increase your status, you got to do it the old school way. You got to do it the hard way. You got to go to the gym and work out, work on yourself. If you're getting bullied, you got to learn how to fight. If you fell in class, you got to go in and get in them books and learn how to be at the top of your class, because we are competitive people. We live in a competitive society. So if you can't perform at the top, then you get left at the bottom. And those that get left at the bottom are usually not going to be, and I'm using these terms loosely, but these are the ones that's not deserving of and this is the the Jahiliyyah way of thinking. These are the ones that's not natural selection. They don't get to pass on their lineage. You know what I'm saying? In a way that these type of people did, survived in the time of the Prophet was learning this deen. Everybody, like the Prophet said, everybody's not going, it's not going to be a mujahid. Everybody not going to go in the battle and slay the enemy and die a martyr. Some people going to have to stay behind and learn this religion, learn this deen. And that's what brought their status up. So if you notice those traits in your sons, then, you know what I'm saying, nurture them. Nurture them, because it's good. It's good in everything. It's not all good, but it's good in everything. It's bad in stuff. It's not all bad, but it's bad in everything. So you have to find a way to nurture the things that are good and let the things that are bad, by being unnurtured, let them kind of wither away and die off. And I pray that our sons don't adopt this mentality. This is a mentality of a weak man who found a niche, found a way to weasel his way into the system, and it's only a matter of time before he say that in the wrong crowd and a real man deal with him. And if we being honest, man, we know that in today's society, the thing that a lot of men get notoriety off of is what woman they been with. You know what I'm saying? It's see that, and that's how you could tell the old school from the new school. The old school dude, he get notoriety for being a man, and his woman get notoriety for being his woman, right? That's a man. One of these new school dudes, he get notoriety from the women. He used to mess with such and such. Oh, okay, I know him. How you getting notoriety from the women? And that's the problem. In our communities, you only, like, a lot of times, like, we taking the shortcut of trying to be the man by preying on women, becoming predators, and trying to sleep with as many women as we can so that we could get some type of status in society, not even realizing that that's not a good thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not a good thing that you know because your name attached to some woman. And then we think that's decent. Oh yeah, I had her. You know what I'm saying? Blasting our sins. Blasting them. Taking pride and arrogance in the fact that we sinned. Oh yeah. Oh, shorty. Oh yeah, I had her. She's sweet. She's sweet. Then you talk to shorty though, and oh yeah, he's a simp. I had him doing X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and then he lying, and then he probably lying. And it's like, yo, it's like the times is really backwards. The Prophet ﷺ told us that the times is going to be backwards. Good will be bad, bad will be good. The truth will be considered a liar, and a liar will be considered the truthful one. And this is exactly the times that we live in. Oh, no, that's my man. He wouldn't lie about that. Now we believe him over her. No, that's my man. He get a lot of girls. He wouldn't lie over that. But, you know, these are some of the things that we got to fix. And it's not a response. It's not a problem of this is the man's fault. This is the woman's fault. It's a problem of this is our fault. This is the community fault. This is the community fault. We got to get back to being a community. We got to get back to the times where we could go and ask about the honor of a woman and everybody know about it. Oh, yeah, she's very honorable. You know what I'm saying? Like her family is honorable. Yeah, her daughters. Yeah, that's who you want to marry your son to. We got to get back to those times. Oh, these sons is honorable. That's who you want to marry your daughter to. And that's what it comes down to. And it's like, and especially in Philly, man, we got it so backwards where we got dudes that's knee deep in the game that got whole platforms calling people honorable or dishonorable. Oh, he a rat. He not honorable. But it's like, but ain't you the same boy that? And then our memory's so short. Our memory's so short that a dude could go and actually rat and then get on social media and have a whole platform calling people rats. And nobody call him out. Because at the end of the day, a real nigga know that a coward will do something to you just as fast as anybody else. Even faster because they scared. And it's really, when it comes down to it, they really got the mentality it's going to be me or him. I got to do something. Else he's going to do something to me. And it's like, and Muslim, non-Muslim, it don't even matter. Like, we beefing with Muslims. Like, how we beefing with Muslims? And we all heard the hadith of the person who brings his who raises a sword against another Muslim. It's crazy, man. We gotta get it together. And you know what's crazy? I get upset when women always say, "Oh, if he think like that about he talking about black women like that, he must hate women. He must be secretly gay, or he hate women. Oh, bitch, your mom black, you hate women." And I'm like, don't nobody hate women. I can't just point out a flaw in the hopes that you would better it and fix it. And this is the go-to for them, that you hate women. But now that I'm starting to see dudes like this become popular, I understand, man. I understand, ladies. Like, dang, wifey, I understand now. You know what I mean? Dang, sis, I understand now. I understand what you were talking about. Yeah, these dudes do hate women. These dudes hate women because they was neglected all through their childhood by the women in their lives. And now that they adults and they finally found the recipe after 40 years, 30, 40 years, they want to get their payback. Makes sense. And the obvious question is, all right, well, if these niggas so fake and it's all these real niggas out here, then why the fake niggas out here giving all the advice? Because they got time. They got time. There's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, other people was doing stuff in the world and had plans and ambitions and other stuff to do, and social media is new. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? They like a lot of dudes do, they just tell their story and they blow up. And that's why you see a lot of the quote unquote real niggas that was locked up and all of that they blow. And you don't see none of the positive, like none of the real niggas that kept it positive, because this wasn't really an option. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this social media wasn't really I don't want to say an option, wasn't a necessity, but I see a necessity now because there's too much fake stuff out there. And I really don't have the time, but I'm trying to make time, because for other people, I know that I seen people's story where it was like, yeah, I was in a dead-end job and I would make videos in my spare time and I was putting in 16 hours and I had to do this, and then I finally took off after 2 years. Like, that ain't nothing that I plan. I'm not gonna plan the next 2 years of my life to, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I realized that real recognize real. I'm gonna just start posting and you know what I'm saying, see what happens. But it is what it is. Like, bro, it's come a time for the real dudes, the real men that's secured a little bit of comfort to take a little bit of time to drop a few jewels. And inshallah, I'm gonna try to find some of those key jewels and try to highlight them if I get a little notoriety. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it take a community, it take a village. It's not no one person thing. It's not no, I'm gonna put this on my back. You can't really do that with social media. And I feel so uncomfortable even referring to myself as a real nigga, because real niggas don't say that they real niggas. It just is what it is, right? Other people vouch for them, and I know so many real dudes who known in their neighborhoods and all that that you will never hear of, and that's because they chilling, they doing them. You would never hear from them, and somebody gotta do it for them. That's